Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're going to completely reframe how we think about aging, global health, and vision loss. Unpacking data from the World Health Organization and the Vision Atlas, we're looking at a crisis that literally affects billions. But spoiler alert, it is entirely solvable. Okay, let's dive right into this massive number, 2.2 billion. Let that sink in for a second. According to the World Health Organization, that is the staggering number of people globally living with near or distance vision impairment. To put that into perspective, that's more than a quarter of the entire human population navigating daily life, work, and school without clear sight. Now, you might be wondering what's truly shocking about all this. It's the sheer volume of unnecessary suffering. At least 1 billion of these cases, nearly half, haven't been treated yet, or could have been prevented entirely. Half of the global vision crisis isn't some incurable medical mystery. It's just a glaring gap in care. And we really have to remember that behind these billion-person statistics are real human lives. These are families. These are entire communities. When someone loses their sight, they essentially lose their independence. They often require a family member, sometimes a child, who really should be in school, just to help them navigate the world. Unaddressed sight loss sends ripples through everyone around them. But here is the reality of the situation. 90% of sight loss is preventable or treatable. Going blind is not just an inevitable part of getting older. It's largely solvable with treatments and simple tools that we already have at our disposal today. Which brings us to the economic cost. A heavy toll. Unaddressed vision loss drains an estimated $411 billion from the global economy every single year. I mean, think about it. When people can't see, they simply can't work. That translates directly to lost productivity, lost wages, and stunted economic growth worldwide, all because folks can't access basic eye care. Clear vision is absolutely crucial for daily work, whether you're reading a newspaper, operating heavy machinery, or just participating in the local market. And while vision loss affects people of all ages, research shows most people dealing with it are over 50. This means they have years, maybe decades of productivity left, but they just lack the tools to keep earning. Ultimately, it all comes down to a massive gap in access. The World Health Organization estimates that 2 out of 3 people in low-income countries who need something as incredibly basic as a pair of eyeglasses just don't have them. On top of that, 1 in 2 people globally who need cataract surgery can't get it. Simple solutions are remaining entirely out of reach for millions. So if we know the solutions are this simple, and we know 90% of cases are preventable or treatable, we really need to ask ourselves, what exactly is driving this massive wave of blindness? Well, let's zoom all the way into the human eye to understand cataracts, which happen to be the #1 culprit behind global blindness. According to the American Academy of Ophthalmology, a cataract occurs when the eye's natural, clear lens becomes cloudy. We're all born with this crystal clear lens that bends light rays to help us see perfectly. But over time, the proteins in that lens simply start to break down. Imagine trying to look through a totally foggy, unwashed car windshield. We've all been there, right? But imagine that being your permanent reality. That is exactly what a protein-degraded cataract lens is like compared to a healthy one. The light just can't refract perfectly anymore, and the whole world becomes permanently blurry and hazy. Let's move on to the symptoms and solutions. If you, or maybe an aging parent, start noticing that bright colors are looking kind of faded or yellowish, or if you're experiencing those annoying halos around oncoming headlights at night, these are the hallmark signs that those lens proteins are breaking down. Other symptoms include blurry or dim visual, and sometimes even seeing double out of the affected eye. Now, while normal eye changes do begin after age 40, your lifestyle plays a massive role here. Factors like smoking, having diabetes, or spending way too much time out in unprotected UV sunlight, well, those can severely accelerate this whole clouding process. But here is the incredible news. Treatment is remarkably straightforward. It usually starts with a comprehensive eye exam with dilation, using slit lamp testing to spot any abnormalities. If your symptoms are early and mild, honestly, a new eyeglass prescription might be all you need. But when it severely interferes with daily life, the solution is routine surgery. We literally just remove the cloudy natural lens and replace it with a crystal clear artificial one, known as an intraocular lens. Which brings us to the best buy in global health. When a person receives that cataract surgery or even just gets a simple pair of glasses, the ripple effect is immediate. They regain their independence, they re enter the workforce, and their caretakers can finally return to school or their own jobs. Restoring sight doesn't just heal an eye, it literally revives local economies. And that brings us to this absolutely astonishing number, $28. For every one single dollar we invest in global eye health, $28 is generated in economic returns. It is one of the most powerful financial multipliers in the entire medical field. Because scaling these proven solutions improves learning, jobs, and productivity so dramatically, new research by the IABB, SEVA, and the Fred Hollis Foundation confirms this. Eye health is quite literally one of the best buys in global health. It's a completely solvable problem with a massive guaranteed economic upside. But time is definitely against us. As the data for South Asia alone shows, vision loss jumped from about 162 million people in 1990 to over 335 million by 2020. If we just maintain the status quo, projections show it's skyrocketing to over 500 million by 2050. The burden is growing rapidly as our global population ages. So, what does this all mean? We are left with a massive yet entirely solvable crisis. We have simple tools like glasses and routine cataract surgeries, and we have the ultimate financial incentive with a $28 return on every single dollar invested. The science is completely clear, and the economics are undeniable. The only question left for us is, what steps will we take next to actually scale these proven solutions and finally bring clear vision to the rest of the world?